Hi, my name is Nathan Shannon, and together with Campbell Smart and Josh Park, we'll be presenting our Gattaca scene analysis video.
The scene that we felt was one of the best scenes to analyse in Gattaca was the final scene in the movie, where Vincent finally achieves his goal. The scene sees Vincent venture into the spaceship.
As this is happening, it also crosses to Eugene, who is back at the house.
As the rocket takes off, the viewer sees that Eugene has committed suicide by incinerating himself in the incinerator.
The first technique which we will be discussing is the use of panning by the director. The director has used this film technique when showing Vincent in the rocket. The shot pans across each member of the space mission's face, briefly, before landing on Vincent's. This is deliberately done to emphasize the point of Vincent's unity with the Valids, demonstrating his indifference. This is achieved by the panning shot showing everyone's face to make the point that Vincent is no different from those who are valid, and that unlike genetics, his motivation has gotten him to his dream. This supports the theme of social stratification, as it highlights that Vincent is no longer separated from the valids due to achieving his life goal, and demonstrating that his validness had nothing to do with getting there. The panning allows the viewer to see the different ethnicities and nationalities of each space member. This is to support the theme that discrimination is based on a science and not ethnicity like it is in today's world. The use of motifs by the director also appear in the scene. The first example of a motif is that of science, and appears when Vincent is walking to board the spacecraft. The motif is clear, as the tunnel that Vincent is walking in represents the fallopian tubes of the female reproductive system. This is deliberately done to represent the idea that Vincent is being reborn into a new world, a world where he is accepted and fits in. By having Vincent walk down the tunnel, it demonstrates that Vincent is leaving behind his old life and awaiting a new journey, a new chapter in his life. This motif represents the theme of fate versus free will. The motif, which demonstrates that Vincent is being reborn, suggests that the reason why Vincent finds himself in this position is because of his perseverance, dedication, and hard work, as well as his free will. The motif of bars is evident when Eugene is inside the incinerator. The bars represent that Eugene feels trapped by the weight of society's expectations of himself being perfect. This is achieved by positioning Eugene on the other side of the bars, thus making him appear to be trapped inside the incinerator. The term perfect is all that Eugene cares about, and the fact that he wasn't perfect on the day of his swimming competition makes Eugene feel trapped in a nightmarish world. He could never get over this, and the bars portray his feelings of being trapped in an imperfect body. The act of Eugene leaving the world appears to turn the medal a golden colour, symbolising Eugene's final victory of leaving with a dystopian world. This supports the theme of humanity versus perfection, as the bars represent the standards of society.
Symbolism is used in Gattaca when the flames come up on Vincent's rocket and Eugene's incinerator. These two have different meanings behind them. The flame on Vincent's rocket is used to signify Vincent's departure from the invalid life he had to live, and his journey to a new life, a life he cannot be discriminated for. On the other hand, Eugene's incinerator fire is shown, trying to indicate that Eugene is leaving this world where he was a perfect valid, and instead of working to restore that label, decides to leave this world. This relates to the theme, fate versus free will, as Eugene was given all the genetic characteristics to live the best life he wanted to, but instead, he gave up when first stage of trouble started, while Vincent on the other hand, persevered and finally found himself heading towards his dream. The film technique of lighting has been used by the director when Vincent is inside the spaceship, and there is a close-up on his face. This light, unlike the other light shone on the other crew, is brighter and more directly on his face. Through this, the director is trying to say how Vincent has broken out from the dark dystopian society around him and achieved his dream. This supports the theme of fate versus free will, as Vincent was destined to have a poor life, but using his own willpower turned it around so he could achieve his dream.
Set is portrayed through the closing of the big steel door. The steel door is heavy as the two workers have to push it closed. The ceiling of the door indicates no turning back, the past is gone, and that the future awaits.
This supports the theme of fate versus free will, as the sealing of the door represents Vincent's free will that has gotten him into the situation of achieving his dream. Thanks for listening to our presentation.